Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elliot Kallen, CEO of Prosperity Financial Group, and welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the Expert with Elliot Kallen. Today, we're talking about the human brain, reshaping it. It sounds a little bit like out of the movie Stepford Wives, where we're going to get people to be obedient, but it's not. It's dealing with depression and concussions and PTSD and so many things that we're trying to find cures for. And if you've ever had that feeling or know somebody that's gone through any kind of trauma, or has an issue, or depression, or pre-suicide, or anything having to do with that, that's what we're talking about today, and some incredible innovations with Katarina Maloney. Let me welcome Katarina Maloney, and she is from IQMind. Hi, Katarina, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So we're going to talk about this brainwave thing and how the concept works, and she's an entrepreneur in Southern California. We'll put you in touch with her when we're all done and how to reach her. But if you want to reach me throughout the show, it's 925-314-8503 or Elliot, ELLIOT, at prosperityfinancialgroup.com. Or you've got about another 125 plus episodes, top 2% in the world on financial podcasts at prosperityfinancialgroup.com. Very exciting what we're doing. So let's talk a little bit about the brainwaves. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it as we move on, because I'm very involved and very attached to our charity, abrighterday.info, which deals with teen depression and anxiety with the goal of stopping suicide. But let's just talk in big pictures, and then we'll get down to that as we go. So what are you doing because it's incredibly innovative, and it doesn't require a pill, it requires action. What are you doing? What is this?
So, IQMind. Imagine you walking in the clinic, and with 20-minute brain scan, you know all your potentials, your weaknesses, and your strengths of your brain. You know how it functions. And with 20-minute tune-up, we can as well basically sharpen your focus, get rid of your memory problems, help to perform better in the school, get rid of grief, work on a lot of different emotions. And the way how it works is that your brain is electrochemical organ. And majority of the treatments in last, 3 decades focus only on the chemistry part. And they must have focused only on the chemistry part because electricity development and technologies were not existing yet. But today there's a change. What we are capable to do is to non-invasively read your brain. We don't send any energy to your brain. We don't control your thoughts. We don't do absolutely anything. All we do is read your brain waves in each of your centers that are basically working in a sense as of if your brain waves that are supposed to be, let's say, of 5 megahertz or something, but they are 15, they are overfiring. Therefore, you have a certain symptoms. And what we can do is to nudge the brain, and because brain is a very self-efficient organ, brain loves to learn. And all we do is we don't even give the instructions. We don't tell the brain what to do. We just give it instructions, and we reward the brain. Brain loves the reward. And when we do that, the brain wave corrects. They lower or they go higher. It depends what is the norm for you, right? And when that happens, your symptoms goes away. And with our technology, this is not a nonsense. This is not a future. This is today. The company that is under us, that we work with, basically, we are in the middle of acquisition of it right now, been in the business for 20 years. The owners started with the space mapping, and they went into the brain mapping. But where I want to go back to the brain is that as we know how to map it, and we know what is the standard, what is the norm, we know how to tune it up to have a normal brain waves. And when we do that, our results are astonishing. Like, let me tell you, 95% improvement in depression, 70% improvement in migraines, over 50% improvement in TBIs, over 60% improvement in ADHD symptoms. And the list goes on. The potential is enormous, but we're not talking only about the eradicating deficiencies of the brain. Let's talk about brain optimization itself, because we all know that we're using only a certain percentage of the brain, right? Since the technologies were not there yet, and the brain research started only in the 60s, and majority of that was on focusing on neuroplasticity as of how the brain functions in general, right? Now we are capable, and I'm sure you know Elon Musk is doing a lot of things in there too, to understand that actually who you are, your personality, your thoughts, your memories, everything is technically in electricity of the brain. And what we are capable to do is to optimize the brain to better potential. So you're using it better. And when we do that, example, we've been working for a decade with the Red Bull athletes. Their mental edge is pretty much amazing. You can see that how they perform in any of the triathlons or jumps or any sports, from snowboarding to mountain biking. All of them are absolutely amazing. And they did a project, Red Bull Endurance project. You can find more information on their website. And their athletes were able to increase reaction time 30%. So imagine you are one of the best already, and you still are able to, by brain tune-up, increase your brain performance 30%. So we go not only about taking care of all the minuses, right? All the mental disorder symptoms and so forth, but we can definitely make you a better version of yourself.
Well, it's pretty exciting. I feel like in some ways this could be incredible technology and totally misused by the wrong people if it ultimately gets out in that. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about the best ways to do it, since I am very much in touch with depression, suicide, and stopping that. So how would this work with today's teens?
Well, today with the teens, we know that our children are in the trouble. The depression levels, suicides are up like 800%. The new norm and what social media, I blame it partially on social media too. We lost contact with each other. Me and you, when we grow up, we used to go play outside. Today, my 4-year-old niece practically grabs my phone, turns on her YouTube, and she does shortcuts on YouTube that I don't even know about. And when I was 4, I was probably still eating dirt on the playground, but she knows how to navigate through YouTube. The advancements of younger generations today, it's going too fast, but they have no system to cope. There is a human touch is missing, because today it's just easier to send text message or jump on a game online. We didn't have those possibilities. So where teens and young children are heading today is not a very good direction, and we definitely need to help them to be able to manage their symptoms and their deficiencies of their brain, because they are children, they are our future. And what we can do for them is definitely we've been working with multiple different school districts, even in Los Angeles, to help. Basically, all we do is give the child 20-minute scan, and we know what's happening in them, and then the tune-ups take care of their depression levels. And they love to come back because they see the potential and they see the improvement already in 1 session. Like if you would love to see a lot of different underserved communities and communities itself that we ever work with our technology, you can go to Neurofeedback Advocacy Project, and you can see all the results there. And you can see how amazing potential it has on the impact of the community itself. So teens are definitely on our radar.
Well, this is pretty exciting what you're doing. We're talking to Katarina Maloney from Southern California. She is CEO of IQMind. They are innovating. We're going to talk more about this, what's going on with the human brain, and trying to eradicate up to 1%. Obviously, this is not a foolproof system here, but trying to eradicate things like depression, anxiety. And we're going to talk about veterans in one moment and the plight of the veteran that is just horrible in the United States right now. But if you want to reach me, I'm at 925-314-8503 or Elliot, ELLIOT, at prosperityfinancialgroup.com. And the website is prosperityfinancialgroup.com. So we're talking about the human brain again. And I want to ask you, you're doing all these studies, which is amazing. And the skeptic in me is like, is this real? Is this not real? And everybody, once you start talking about brains, we get scared, and we're talking about our team, we're going to get more scared. That what are we doing to the brains? And I even have a personal question afterwards, but our veterans today are just really suffering. It's probably the most single suffering group of teens and veterans in society. That's PTSD, that's depression, that's homelessness. There are a lot of things happening there. And we'll forget even drug abuse and alcoholism and human toxicity there, but just the things that are fixable. How does this work with them? And are you working with the VA to get more involved?
Yes, we are. And I'm going to get back to it. But first, I'm going to help with your questions there. Okay. So let me tell you something. So this technology is over 50 years old. Okay. We are working with top hospitals, John Hopkins, Harvard universities. The research is, we have a mountain of research. This is not something new. This has been around for some time. A lot of people know it under neurofeedback, biofeedback, QEG, or ERP. But the name stands for something like a car. So if you imagine a car, you might have a Toyota and you might have a Ferrari, right? So it depends. So our technology is more equivalent to the higher standard of the car. Then it depends who drives the car, right? We have experts. Let me just say that NASA pilots training involves this technology too. We have FDA approvals. We are in 23 different countries in 7,000 hospitals around the world, 7,000 clinics and hospitals. So this is not something new. This is established. And to begin with, me and you are meeting here today because I had something amazing happen to me. I had a positive experience. And let me start with that, okay? I had a terrible concussion, terrible fall in 2018. So bad. And it didn't happen on a battlefield or in a football game as a football player or in a car accident that many people have actually. It happened in my own doctor's office. Just 1 second can change your life. I hit my head. Okay, no big deal. It happens to a lot of people. But my symptoms included a lot of different mental disorders symptoms, and I was not able to function. I was not able to feed myself. I was not able to take a shower myself. I had a vertigo nonstop, 24/7. Doctors, any brain-based injury centers in whole Southern California were not able to help me. And that determination became my mission, okay? And that positive experience, because of this technology with 20 tune-ups, 20, 30-minute tune-ups, brought me back to normal like nothing happened. So imagine my lifestyle that I was not able to kill myself, physically not able to. So today we are talking here. So this technology is backed up with a lot of different people, hundreds and hundreds of people. And right now, in the United States, we're bringing it. We already have all the CPT codes from all the insurances, including Medicare. And we want to make this available for everybody because there's lots of outdated treatments out there and not available. After COVID, we all know that the mental crisis increased. Normal therapy sessions with a therapist have a 3 to 6 months waiting time. A lot of people are going after the medicine, drugs, and they should probably, but this is not about replacement therapy. This is about offering another option. And yes, for veterans, for PTSD, wow. Our PTSD levels of improvements are over 70%. We've been working with VA for a long time. We all know in Southern California that the major problem of homelessness is actually a veterans problem. It's not a homelessness problem. It's actually a mental health problem. And we are definitely helping them. And veterans should be helped. They did something for our country. They stood up on the front lines. They tried to help. And we kind of left them behind. And I'm taking it personally. And I really hope that we're going to make a big difference there.
Well, you're doing something amazing, Katarina, which is great. You know, one thing that I was reading about, and you and I talked earlier before this, is that you mentioned that this helps empower individuals, I'll quote you, to achieve mental clarity and cognitive well-being. So now I'm a reasonably intelligent person, and I want to take my own brain to another level. Is that doable, or is that just something different, something that's not?
Absolutely. What if you are a genius, Elliot, and you don't know about it because you might have a blood flow problem, or there could be some chemistry problem? We can definitely see it. If you take it that we're using our brain only like 3-4%, less than under 5%. What if with our new studies we can improve the usage of our brain centers? We can help to rebuild pathways, and you're gonna have a better memory that you have. I'm not saying you have a bad one. I'm just saying you might improve, right? Improve, you will sleep better. There was a study we did with a company. We basically treated all their employees for 3 months, right? Their productivity level increased 40%. Why do you think that happened? Because I don't want to say it makes people happier, but if they are truly working to their potential, our natural state is not to be miserable. Our natural state is to be happy. And if we can help people be happy, and we can heal the brain one brain, heal the world one brain at a time, I would definitely choose that because just like I mentioned, the Neurofeedback Advocacy Project, some of the communities we work with, Native American tribe, we see an effect actually that there is less arrests in the community, less crime, less children misbehaving in a school, less people visiting ER for psychiatric reasons. It affects us on a much bigger level than just on our physical level. It affects us on a societal, on a connection with other people, right? We had a patient who, elderly, wife, a daughter basically explained that he doesn't want to play with his grandchildren. He wants to go in a shed every time when they come around. He seems to be annoyed. He seems to be not himself. He started a treatment and he's spending so much time with the grandchildren and the whole family is happier. And that's what matters, right? Nothing else matters. Just the simple things, simple daily things.
Well, it's very exciting what you're doing. Maybe I need to schedule a session. Tell me, if I'm the patient, now I obviously would not be covered by insurance because I'm not suffering from something that would be insurable. So that's a cash situation. So if I would have come down to San Diego tomorrow, what would that look like? What's the process?
Actually, there is a lot of different clinics around the country that takes cash only. And they have a still 3 to 6 months waiting time, even in your city, I'm sure. And to get covered by insurance, all we do have to do is to look at we have to run a psych and neuro eval pretty much to see if there is something and you need these treatments. But if you would like just to go visit and see what is happening in your brain and increase the brain performance, practically in every city in the United States, there are clinicians who offering this service, and the treatment cost can be anywhere from $150 to $400 per treatment.
Wow. Wow.
And there is still 3 to 6 months waiting time.
Well, I'm sure at that price, I'm sure there is. That's just super affordable for everybody. So we're retraining our brain. We're retraining somebody's brain that really needs some retraining. Is there a side effect with personality changes? Because, your brain drives your personality too. So if you're altering one, are you altering another?
Personality. What is personality? Personality is it's something that it's said, but like I mentioned before, we are not meant to be miserable, right? Even if somebody is irritated and acts upon it because of being under stress or being in a situation he doesn't like to be, what our brain and brain performance can do is to help you with the resilience against stress. So therefore, you're not going to be reacting strongly as you would prior, right?
Well, so the reason we're talking is not just about the brain, Katarina, is because we have lots of business owners who are our clients, and they want to know how you've been a success. Your company's obviously successful, your product is innovative and super interesting and different, which is good. So you're disturbing the marketplace, which is a good thing to be doing. And so you've got, take us through your typical day, your CEO, you're driving the company, you're driving your employees, and you're having to fight a marketplace that can be pretty anti-change. So what does it look like for you on a week or a day?
So you're absolutely right. Current Western medicine in the United States is obviously driven by a prescription model, right? And brain itself is such an unknown organ, and with the current problems after the COVID, a lot of people their stigma, I want to say the stigma is going away. And the reason why is because if we're all sad, we feel okay to say it in a sense. So if I could explain that our company kind of exists and our market niche exists somewhere between psychology and neurology in a space that was never developed before, but our improvement rates are astonishing. And insurance companies, I'm sure you know that you can find this fact online, that United States spend more money on mental health than actually on cancer. Insurance companies are running towards to us to get this established because it will make their lives better too. In my day to day, oh my God, I don't know if you want to know. Well, we are currently in a fundraising mode. We just acquired a new company called Pro Sports Technologies, where we are focusing on athletes in making the football safer place and making collision sports safer. We acquired a company with the patents where we can track movement analytics, motion life analytics from a helmet, knees, and our shoulders. And the reason why we did that is because we would love to put our technology into a football player's helmet and see what's happening on neurological and a brain activity level during a game. Because, obviously TBI is a serious problem in NFL and they're having a lot of problems with it too. So, and we partner up with a very big sports agent. He's legendary, Lee Steinberg, and his legacy, his whole life legacy is to help the people he represented and help to make the football safer, one parent at a time. So we really hoping that we're going to be able to do that.
That's great. I'll have to make sure we talk separately about how to add you to our website for the charity and as a resource. That would be great too.
We would love that. And actually, speaking of Lee Steinberg, he just started his foundation for concussion, traumatic brain injury, and brain health. And maybe, I can suggest a phone call between your charitable organization for the teens and his, because he definitely wants to focus on children as well.
I would love that. That would be terrific. So we've been talking with Katarina Maloney. We've been talking about brain health. It's very exciting. It's incredibly innovative what they're doing at IQMind in Southern California. You definitely, if people want to read more about it, Katarina, they want to read about foundations, they want to read about, where to get more information. How do they do that?
They can find us on our website, IQMind.ai, and as well, IQMind INC on any major social media networks. We're more than happy to talk to anybody, suggest a clinic, or work with us and see how we can help teams, hospitals, or any elderly homes, or anybody that would like to basically get set up a clinic or treatment or so forth. And I mentioned IQMind.ai, but I just want to mention that everybody knows that our database has an AI option, and there is some AI in a technology setup. And the reason for that is because with all the data we're getting, it would take thousands and thousands of clinicians to go through that to see the results. And a math learning technology is helping us to get today where we are. And that is the reason for us to use it, because it's very beneficial.
This is so innovative and creative. It's been a great show, Understanding the Human Mind. Please go to her site. Make sure you look at the IQMind.ai, get a feel for it. Go to the neurofeedback advocacyproject.com. That's another one. You get great information. You don't have to believe me. It's obviously doing its job. I have somebody in my family, 2 people that did ERP, and it changed their lives around from depression, which is just amazing. And that's crude and elementary compared with probably what you do, ERP.
Absolutely. It's the diagnostic part for us to see what the brain is doing and how it's reacting during stress, during motion, during sleep, and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Great. So if you want to hear more about this and more about all of our Meet the Expert with Elliot Kallen, exciting business owners like this, innovative, creative, great to listen to, great to watch if you're video versus just sound or both. It's at www.prosperityfinancialgroup.com. Come, reach out, have a conversation with us, and you'll hear more about these things. Katarina, thanks for being here today.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, everybody.